confirm yes if you're able to hear me. Okay, so what I'm going to discuss in today's session, it's like out of our syllabus actually. It's not a regular scenario, like it's not a traditional data uh, capturing. So sometimes, very rare scenarios, what will happen? There is some real-time data. What do you mean by real-time data? The data is going to be continuously generating from the IoT devices. Let's, for example, we have a electric plant. Okay, so this is an electric plant over here. So in this, or else you can take it as a fire station, whatever it is. So definitely there should be some safety devices, correct? So safety devices means those are like capturing what is the temperature inside that factory. Let's take it, this is a factory. So inside this factory, we need to capture every time what is the temperature currently available, correct? So inside this factory is a factory located somewhere in Hyderabad. So as a safety measures, what we are doing, we are continuously checking the temperature of this factory. Okay, so inside this factory, what is the temperature currently? We are going to check. So how you are going to get a temperature, or like if you want to get it any kind of temperature or humidity or light motion or any kind of pressure, these kind of things if you want to capture, we need to use some IoT devices, correct? So there is one IoT sensor devices we are going to set inside this factory. So we are going to set some IoT sensor devices. So what these sensors are going to do, the sensors are going to capturing the whatever the temperature and currently what is the humidity in that particular location. Those will capture, and that information will be sent back. So ideally, there are like IoT devices manufacturing companies are there. You can take that IoT devices manufacturing companies. Or else, best example, there is a blood pressure devices. It's something like a watch. You just take a Apple Watch. Apple Watch, what it will do? It will take your blood pressure, and continuously it will taking your blood pressure BP and sending that information back to your somewhere. It will display for you what is your blood pressure status currently, correct? Similarly, from this IoT devices, whichever we have in the market, we can able to capture from this IoT devices, we can able to capture the things over here. What kind of things? What is the temperature we are going to capture? So now my requirement is, I want to send a notification if this temperature is exceeding this particular. So in my factory, always the temperature control should be 90 degrees, or sorry, 30 degrees or 25 degrees only. It should not exceed that one. If any case my temperature is exceeding, then I want to manage my air coolers, air condition. uh, I need to increase automatically based on this one. So that is the reason we want to check our temperature. So first if you want to check your temperature, you need to capture that information, right? So how are we going to capture this information? To capture this information, whatever the IoT devices they are keeping over there, those will come, and somewhere it is going to be having that device is connected. That IoT device is connected to a application in the back end. Definitely it is a software only, right? In this device, there is one software has connected to this particular, the device is connected to a particular software, a website, okay, to a web application or a mobile app, web app. So Microsoft is giving one web application for analysis purpose. Okay, so that is basically, you can see it over here. Browser pay sensor. See, sensors are looks like this. Sensor simulator. One second. Okay, there is one free sensor available, so we can capture this information from that free sensor. So this is the link. Mm, okay, yeah, this is the one. So if you see here, this is one Raspberry Azure IoT online simulator. So this will be connected to the front end one device. Okay. So that device in your factory continuously sending off the temperature information over here, continuously sending off the temperature over here. So let's, for example, uh, see when you are running here, it's going to continuously connecting, and it will capture the information, the temperature information. So now what we need to do is, why whatever this is a sample one actually, Azure sample Raspberry IoT simulator. We need to capture that information. We need to capture from here. So how can we capture these events, whatever the events are occurring from the IoT device into this backend web? So from here to here we need to capture. So to capture, you need to take one IoT events hub. So there is one service inside the Microsoft Azure. Inside the Microsoft Azure, the service is for connecting to the IoT devices to collecting the data. Okay. So let's, for example, let me log into this portal over here, Azure portal. Inside this portal, there is one event hubs. Okay. See, there is a event grid and event hubs. There are several things are there. So out of this, which one you want to select? I want to select the event IoT hub. Okay, so this one you need to take it, IoT hub. So IoT hub means this service is going to connecting to your IoT machine and collecting the information. Click on this one. Click on create. Free trial. E classes GRP2. Give some name. E classes IoT hub. East US region. Better you can change this location to East US too, because recently it is not supporting East US East US 2 location. Let me review and create it. Let me refresh it again. Let me check my subscription status first. Yeah, it is in active status only. IoT Hub. Click on Create IoT Hub. Okay, take it minimum per month. So daily, how many messages you are going to get it? Messages means from this IoT device, daily how many number of messages it is going to simulate. So daily how many messages it is going to simulate. According to that, so definitely this IoT device has to pump the data, right? So how frequently it is going to pump the data, how many messages you are receiving from this IoT device, that information based on that you can able to take it. So the charges are different for that one. Let me take it initially 2079 price 1 2 3 4 5 6. So 4 lakhs messages from the device per month. Review and create it. Click on create. So my Azure cloud service, which service? IoT hub service is connecting to this device. How it is going to connect? Let me show you. So inside this IoT hub, what we will do, we will create one device. Okay. So because inside this hub, it has many devices. Okay. So the device whichever we are going to create, that device we are going to connect into this IoT device. So this IoT device is a physical device, but but we are going to connect from our Azure portal. We are going to create one IoT device service that we are going to connecting to the this one. Then this this IoT device, whichever physically available in your factory, is going to communicating with the device what you are going to create inside this hub. Use IoT hub message routing to send devices to cloud messages. You understand what purpose we are using IoT hub? The IoT hub we are using, the messages we are going to route to send device to cloud. So this is a device. This is a device. From this device, whatever the messages we are receiving, those messages we are going to send to the cloud environment. Okay. So it has created. Let's go inside. Inside here, you can able to goes to the hub settings, a device management. So simply click on this devices. So you need to add one device. Simply click on add device. So give some name for this device. E classes IoT device. Okay. So this is the name you can able to give it over here. Simply click on save it. So once you are saving, so that will not come here. Simply refresh. Yeah. Device is created. Now this device we need to connect into this device. Simply click on this one. Here you are getting primary connection string. So this primary connection string you need to copy and go over here Here you can see there is a connection string. In place of this connection string, your IoT hub device connection string, you need to provide it over here. So you need to paste it your device ID over here. Simply you can able to remove this. So this is the device connection string. So simply we are establishing a connection between the device what we created inside this IoT hub. This is IoT hub. This is IoT device whichever we created. We are establishing a connection between this one and this one. Done. So how you are going to get the information you connected, but this IoT hub has to generating the data, whatever the data is generating over here, that data needs to be collecting into a blob somewhere storage system. So to do this one, we need to create one job. So what is that job we need to create? So we need to create a streaming analytics job is there. Stream analytics job. So that stream analytics job you need to be create the service. Okay. Let's go to Azure portal. Simply goes to stream analytics job. Here. Stream analytics job. So what this job will do? This job is going to executing of your IoT hub events and devices. Then simply it is going to collecting the data from your IoT device. Click on this stream analytic job, create a stream analytic job. E classes trial, E classes grp2, give some name, E classes live job, E classes live job, keep as it is. Then here your performance of this analytic job depends on the number of streaming units. So how many number of streaming units you are taking, according to that your job is going to be executing over here. So streaming units represents the computing. To execute, it need a resources computing, right? CPU, RAM, memory that will be allocated by using a in terms of the SUs, streaming units. The higher the number of SUs means streaming units if you are taking, the more CPU and memory resources are allocated for your job. Okay, so I'm going to take very minimal number, then simply you can able to click on review and create it over here. Click on create. So what is this stream analytic job will do? So this is basically capturing of the data from your input. So from your input it will capture the data, and whatever the output you are giving, so there it is going to storing of your data. So in between we have to write down one query, so that query is going to connecting to your input, and it is going to outputting of the data over here. Okay, so this is live streaming analytic job, streaming analytics job. So this IoT device, what it will do, it will capturing of the information from the simulator. So this data we need to input somewhere here. That input will be queried into output. So input and output both are your any kind of storage systems only. This is a input, this is a query. What purpose this query? From this input the data needs to be queried and saved into this output. Let me show you where that input and output and all those things we have. So what is our input over here? Our input is this IoT device only. What is your output? Where you want to store the data? My output is a blob storage. Output is a blob storage. You can use anything, either whatever the output is coming, either you can store in a blob storage, or you can store in a Synapse dedicated SQL pool or SQL server, anything, or Azure SQL database, or Synapse, or a Cognos DB, any kind of storage system. Your output, whatever the temperature you are going to capture from this IoT device, right? You can able to store it over here. Let me configure this one. Yeah, go to the resource. Let's go to the job topology. Yeah, here you can see there is a inputs, there is a query, there is a outputs. So what this streaming analytic job is doing, it will connect to the input. What is your input? My input is IoT device. So it has to connecting to the IoT device over here. Okay, it has to connect into the IoT device. How to connect it to the IoT device? See, there is a add input. So your input might be a blob storage. Your input might be a blob storage, or a event hub, or IoT hub, or Kafka. Okay, any other. Your data is somewhere. When the data is available, immediately your stream analytic job is going to capture that information. If data is generated in your source systems, immediately this live analytic job is going to capture. When a new record, when a new uh, value or a row or any information is generated in any of these data source systems, immediately your live streaming analytic job is going to execute and querying that data. So in this scenario, my input is IoT hub. So what is your input name you want to give? I want to give it as a E classes IoT input. Any name you can give. E classes, uh, E classes IoT input. E classes IoT input over here. It's a free trial where subscription, and IoT hub. What is the IoT hub you created? If you remember, E classes IoT hub. So how did you get that name? So when you are creating this device, right? IoT device. That IoT device name you need to provide it over here. That IoT device name you need to provide it over here. So simply click as it is. Uh, so the output, whatever the events it is going to capturing, so in which format you are going to capturing this information, in JSON format or CSV format, whatever. Let me make it as a JSON format only. Simply save it. Okay, so your input is ready. Then what is your output? So simply goes to the output. So where do you want to store this output information, whatever you are querying from your IoT device? See here, see, this is supporting these many data sources over here. So you can store your output data into Synapse Analytics or Blob Storage or Cosmos DB, Data Lake, Event Hub, Kafka, Power BI, anything. Let me try to use it as a Blob Storage only. Do we have that one? Or else you can, yeah, there is a Blob Storage or Data Lake Gen 2. So let me give this as a E classes IoT output. A subscription, free trial subscription, storage account name. In which storage account you want to store all this information? I want to store into E classes blob OTT 1987. So inside we have one container, Azure container. Okay. So how to authenticate to that particular one? By using this connection string, automatically it is capturing. So your output format, how you want to save? I want to save it a CSV comma separated file. Comma separated file. And when you are saving this data in a file, so how do you want to save this one? Do you want to save in a specific format, any specific format like year, month, DDYY? So let me save that in a this format. Okay, year, month, date. All right, then do you have any restriction like for example in my source, if it is minimum 10 rows. So when you want to execute this job, at least your IoT device, at least your IoT device capturing the 10 rows, then only my job needs to be executed. That kind of restrictions also you can able to put. Minimum 10 rows needs to be captured. That means 10 times the temperature values. 10 values when it is captured, then only my stream job needs to be executed, and that we are going to store into output. I don't want to execute this job for every single record. When it is a 10 records, just capture the 10 records and processing into your output. Okay, so this is how we can able to put a minimum number of rows as well. I don't want to mention the limitation over here. Even if there is a single record is there, then I want to get that record. And also append rows, see here, append. So whatever the data we are getting for this file, we are going to append it as whenever the result is arrived. And also if you want to put condition like a maximum time, so maximum time means it will wait whatever the time you are specifying for a batch. Okay, so after the time the batch will be returned to the output. For example, if you are putting 1 hour time, so it will wait 1 hour, and after 1 hour it will capture all the data what you have inside your source into your target. You can put a time limitation as well. Okay, so I don't want to put anything. Continuously whatever the data I am getting from the source, I want to bring that data into my targeted over here. Okay, right. So now your input and output both are ready. Now what we need to do is you need to write down a query to get the data from input into output. So how to query the data to get the data from input to output over here? So you can write down a simple query. Select goes to the query. Yeah, so by default they have given one query also. Select star into what is your input? E classes IoT input. Select star into this is your output name. So you have created one output, right? What is your output name? Azure E classes IoT output. Oh, this is the name it is coming. Okay. From where? From your input. What is your input? E classes IoT input. If you want to write down any filter conditions also, you can able to write down over here. So do you want to test this query? Yes, you can able to test the query. There is no data from your input E classes input. Okay. Right. Let me first um, okay, so you don't need to click on anywhere, save it over here, and let me try to run this simulator. So this simulator has to start, right? So simply click on run. Right, see the messages it is sending here. So what is the temperature? 20 degrees. Humidity what is? So all the information it is continuously sending. See, message sent to Azure IoT Hub, message sent to Azure IoT Hub. So this you can observe here. This IoT device capturing that information from the factory, and it is sending what is the temperature, what is the humidity. For every second continuously it is sending that information over here, you can observe. Correct. So this information now our IoT device whichever you connected, that will be capturing. Our streaming analytic jobs is going to be getting off that information. Now you can able to test the query. So it will give you some data because your IoT device having some data now. Mm, let me save this query. Now you can go to the overview, start the job. Do you want to put any kind of start time? From that particular time onwards you want to start, or you want to start now? So you can able to start it now. So where can we see our output? The output we can able to see in our blob storage. So let me try to open in a blob storage. E classes OTT blob 1987, goes to the containers, Azure container. So job is running. Let's go to your query. Let's try to refresh it. Right, see here, it is getting the data. Raspberry device, what is the temperature, humidity. So all the information it is giving here. But where this data has written into your storage account? E classes blob OTT 1987. This is the one only we have used, I think. Yeah. See, with this format, it has created one folder. Inside the file it has created. Open that file. Goes to edit. Yeah. See here, it has created what is your temperature currently from Raspberry client. We are capturing the temperature, humidity, and all those things. So now what you can do by using a Power BI reporting tool, you can able to take this blob storage data, design a report. If design a report, Power BI, I want to display if my temperature greater than 40 degrees, Immediately I want to send a alert, and red color I want to display. Immediately our team needs to be, we can use this information anywhere. I'm just presenting to you in the Power BI. If you want to use in any other device, like immediately you want to this data you can use to control some other systems, whatever it is. So your humidity is increasing for 40 degrees anywhere by capturing this data, then you can able to do some other actions. But in Power BI I'm going to display what is the humidity continuously, what it is generating here inside the Power BI reporting tool. So here this is one example. Similar like we have, you can take another examples like whatever the BP, the device your IoT devices, sensor devices you are using, that will capture your blood pressure. So anytime if your blood pressure is increasing or decreasing, immediately you need to get some notification. Then immediately you need to take a tablet or rest, whatever it is. Some indications we are going to provide it over here. In seas, how the sea area people, they are going to tell the indications, prior information, prior intimation about the tsunami. In the sea area, they will keep these IoT devices. If the humidity all of sudden changed, if the temperature in the sea all of sudden it is changed, then that means it is indicating something going to happen in the sea. So immediately they will inform to the sea area people there is a tsunami is going to come, so please be alert. So this is how in real time worlds we can able to use this one. You just tell them in interview if they're asking, I have knowledge on this one. And because the traditional data processing systems whatever we are using, it may not be getting this kind of information. Generally if you are working for a sales, if you are working for insurance, healthcare, or banking systems, you may not have this kind of data to be processing. We need to create it separately. Okay. So what kind of industries this live streaming analytics we are going to use? Let me ask this one chat GPT. What kind of industries the live streaming analytics can be used? Gaming apps, healthcare and fitness, because they want to check every time your health status over here. Government, public sectors, mostly it is going to be like a stock market. Okay, so they want to do some kind of analysis on that one. Okay, so but the project what you are going to keep in your resume may not be related to government, public sectors, and may not be a gaming related projects. Most of the time gaming related, yes, they are to capture the information. In the real world, give me an example. IoT device. Here they are going to thermostats from your smartphone, tablet using a Nest app. So the main benefits, it will allows you to remotely managing and programming of the home temperature. So in your home, how much temperature it is currently. According to that, you can control your air condition. How to control air condition? First, you need to capture this information. Which information? What is your temperature of your room? So according to the temperature of the room, automatically air condition is going to be adjusting the air condition number of degrees. In such kind of situations, they will use this one. So how to capture the information from the IoT device simulator? They are going to capturing by using a IoT device. So by using this streaming analytic job, we can able to do. Okay, let me stop this one. Otherwise, it is continuously charging the amount. Stop the job. Click yes. Okay. So this is how we can able to create a real-time streaming analytics by using a IoT hub, and we can able to use a stream analytics job. Inside we are using input as a IoT device, output whatever wherever you want to store your data, you can able to use this one. Okay.